10,000, then your API will take more time to process that one. Number of record will increase, then your API need more time to process that record.
Okay.
Okay. So now once this all the thread will complete this all the batches one by one for batch step 1, then it will start taking into batch 2, sorry, batch step 2. So once this 2 will be completed, then it will go for on complete. So here we generate report, how many passed here, how many failed, like that. Okay, is it clear to everyone? So it should, you should explain this part also. Whatever he answered perfectly, but this part was missing, so you need to explain this part. So this will give them detail, like you have in-depth knowledge of this batch processing. Other thing, batch step and batch aggregator, he batch on complete he mentioned correctly. Like inside batch processor, we do processing of record one by one. Once we'll do all the processing, if you want aggregated result, then you need to configure inside batch aggregator. Okay, and then once batch step will complete its execution, it will go to on complete. So inside on complete, we generate report, how many success, how many failed, like that. Okay, should I proceed? Okay, fine then. So we are done with this. So that one was 12th. So for 12th, you need to improve Nagis yourself. That initial part you need to include. Then 13, flow reference, you answered perfectly, 10 out of 10. 14, munit. Okay, munit part you explained, but you should not tell like error handler and error scenario you tested with this uh, from Postman. You should tell them you worked on munit recorder, but only error scenario you did manually. Okay, if you don't know how to do manually, learn this process. But other part you can say I covered everything using munit recorder. Error handling scenario I did using this manually. You should not say you used Postman to test error scenario. Otherwise, how you will achieve this 80% or 90% of code coverage? Okay.
Sure.
Then 15th, what challenge you faced in your project? This one also you answered, but you haven't answered in perfect way. So for this part, actually, I will create one script and I will give to everyone. I will create 2-3 challenging scenario, since as per my understanding, most of you are not from MuleSoft background. So maybe you haven't encountered this. So I will give my scenario where I encounter this. So I will script 2-3 scenario and I will give you. Okay, so that you can understand, and we'll discuss that later on. Next, 16, what is domain project? Yeah, this one you haven't answered. So actually domain project is like we used to create inside this on-premise deployment model, where we keep all the common repository, like if you have common configuration, if you have common schema, if you have common error handling, so all those things we put inside domain project. And MuleSoft Cloud Hub or other deployment model will not support this domain project. Why? Since in on-premise deployment model only, all the resource will be shared resource with all the application. Resource will be shared within all the application. Okay, in on-premise also now we have two kind of. If you are using this OpenShift and all, then again it will be similar to Cloud Hub. So there also you will not able to use this domain project. But if you are using like only, you are not using any kind of Docker concept, if it is a shared resource, then you can use this domain project. Okay, so first of all, like domain project we used to create inside on-premise deployment model, where you will keep all the common repository or shared resource, like configuration detail, properties detail, then common schema, common examples, common Java code, or anything that you want to keep. Okay, and limitation you will tell them it's only we will able to use in on-premise deployment model. Cloud Hub and RTF will not support this. Okay, and why? Since in Cloud Hub and RTF model, each worker is treated as separate machine or separate system. So if it is separate system, then you will not able to use resource available in one worker in another worker. So all resource will be individual. Okay, so this part you need to improve. Like whatever you answered, that will be 2 out of 10. Fine. So next 17, what all security policy? Yeah, that one you answered perfectly, that one is good. Then API monitoring, that you answered correctly only. So in API monitoring you can explore a bit more and you can make it like you can explain everything. Like in API monitoring you will get CPU usage, RAM usage, then you will get thread usage also, you will get SLA, like how many systems, which application is taking how much time. So all those kind of detail you will get inside API monitoring. Okay, so whatever you answered, that was 7 out of 10. You can add more things there. Then mule 3 and mule 4 difference, that one, yeah, you answered perfectly. You mentioned like 3-4 point, and all those are important point only, so that one was good. Then CI/CD part, yeah, you mentioned like you have separate team. That's like genuine answer. You meant like many places they have separate team, but you should have some basic knowledge. Like you should mention you you don't know Jenkins script, but you know how to use that platform, how to start build and how to start deployment on Jenkins, and how to see log and failure. You know that thing. You should mention that part. Okay, then scatter gather, that scenario based question you answered correctly, and for error handling also you answered very perfectly, like that scenario based question. Okay, and then map and map object function. In map object function, you mentioned like it will take input as a object and it will give output as a object, but you should tell internally also like how this map function iterate on each element of array. Same way, map object function iterate on each element of object, and it do require processing whatever you will define. Okay, then plug function, yeah, you mentioned correctly, like map object function will take object as a input and it will give object as a output, and it will iterate on each element of object. Plug function will take objects as a input and it will create an array as a output. Okay, then last question was on reduce function, how you can get accumulative value of array. Then you will use reduce function. Okay, that you need to answer. Okay, so we are done with this discussion. Anyone want to anyone want explanation of any question? Let me know.
Yeah, one question here. You can use your reference from Subflow, right?
Sorry. Can you tell me again?
I thought you said like you can use flow reference from Subflow, right?
Yes.
What is the use like if you do reference to Subflow from the main flow? What is the point of having a flow reference from Subflow?
No, if we have requirement, I just ask, is this possible or not? If you somewhere you have requirement, you have one subflow, okay, and from this subflow I want to call this child flow, is it possible or not? Even let me check. Ideally it should be possible, but very rarely we use.
Okay, got it.
This one is child flow. Okay, so I ask, is it possible or not? From subflow I can call this child flow or not. So this is possible. And how we will, which component you will use? Flow reference component.
It's not like a real use case, right? It's just like,
it can be possible. For example, you define some flow and you want to reuse that flow, use from any subflow. It can be possible, but very rarely.
Okay.
Ravi, can you tell about clearly on JWT and what policies,
Okay.
security.
Okay, if you want detail, then maybe we can discuss in next session since we are done with today's session. So I will give you detail then. I will explain in detail like how these two policy work and how to configure these two policy.
Oh,
Okay,
okay, right.
so yeah. For first session, actually we took lots of time, but it's okay. We learned a lot, and this one, looking as per my expectation. So previously I used to explain this question, but I converted in mock interview. So one person will get one mock interview experience plus we will discuss all the question. So I think this one is good way to proceed. So you can also give your feedback if anyone want to do in different way, or we are good with this way. Okay, fine. So I hope everyone good with this way. So let's continue from tomorrow. So from tomorrow we will have two mock interview, and whoever will be interested, just let me know at the starting of session, and it will be good for you. If someone is thinking I will skip this interview, then you will learn, no doubt you will learn, but you will not get confidence. Okay, so if you want to get more confidence, if you want to clear interview, then try to involve in this as much as. Okay. Okay, fine then. Thanks everyone. Let's connect tomorrow on same time.
Yeah.
Are
Thanks,
you
Ravi.
going to
Thanks,
share
everyone.
answers also, Ravi, or how it?
I will share recording only. Okay, I will share recording for initial 2 day. Recording will be public. From next day, like third day onward, recording will be private. I will give you Git access, and not Git access. I will give you private link access.
Okay.
I will collect your email ID. So initial 2 day, you don't need any access. I will upload on YouTube and I will share link on this our private group. But next day onward, once I will start making it private, then I will collect your email ID and I will give access there.
Oh.
Okay, fine then. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.